Hey guys, it's the OP23 Sports Network. I'm your host Orlando. I hope you guys are doing well today. Before we get started with the video, I hope you guys can give me the HBO special. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the Help a Brother Out special. Go and hit the like and the subscribe button for me for more content. I'm starting to post daily now, so if you guys can do that for me, that I would greatly appreciate it. The goal is at least 100 subscribers by the end of this year. Hopefully, if you guys can help me out, I really appreciate it. So I'll give y'all a second to do that. All right, so let's get into the video today. The video is the AFC South record predictions for the 2022 season. So I did the NFC South already with the Buccaneers, the Saints, Falcons, and the Panthers. Now we're gonna get into the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, and the Jaguars. Not a very big. I personally don't think this is gonna be a big year for the South. I think it could be, but let's just see what I think. So we're going to start off with the Colts, who I think will be in first place. Last year, they did miss the playoffs. They were in second in the division. Their 2021 record was 9-8. Their division was 3-3. Their home was 4-5, and their road was 5-3. They barely missed the playoffs last year. I feel like they could have made the playoffs. Towards the end, they had a couple games where they could have won, but they did not win at all. To me, I think what happened was the quarterback situation with Carson Wentz, I think, wasn't working as great. I think the Colts have a great defense. I think their offense can be on the rise this year with the gain of Matt Ryan, which I'll talk about in a minute. I think the Colts have a good team this year. I think they can make the playoffs this year, which we'll get into that in a minute. So the gains, like I said, they got Matt Ryan, they got Yannick Nakoe, and then Brandon Faxion. And they got a lot of re-signing and a lot of extensions back this year, which is a great deal for the Colts. They did hold a lot of players back. The only loss I think, in my opinion, is very key is Carson Wentz. In my opinion, Carson Wentz is with the Commanders now. I don't think Carson Wentz. I want to say he's a bad player. I just think that ever since the Eagles let him go, I just think he's kind of went down here from there. But if he proves me wrong with the Commanders, I'll gladly be back on that train. But he just hasn't shown me much lately. But I think Matt Ryan can give a good offensive style and make some good completions and win games. I just think with the Falcons, they were losing it there. You know what I mean? So. I think Matt Ryan can be a great asset to this offense. I think if he can take control early, of the season, I think they'll do really well. So here are my record predictions for the Colts. So I think their high will be 12-5, and I think their low will be 10-7. I think they will be first in the division, and they'll make the playoffs. In my opinion, that's just what I think. Some key matchups I think they'll have that are going to be pretty interesting. They got the Chiefs, they got the Titans, of course, they got the Broncos, they got the Commanders, they got the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Eagles and the Cowboys, the Vikings, and the Chargers as well. The AFC is going to be a big matchup, but I think if the Colts just win their division, I think they'll be okay. Colts should sweep the Jaguars and the Texans, in my opinion. Tennessee will give them trouble. I think they'll split that, but we'll just see what happens. But that's just my opinion, you know what I mean? So let's go and get to the next one. The next one I got is the Tennessee Titans. Last year, they were 12-5. They were first in the division, first in the playoffs. They had a great season last year. They just lost it towards the end, which I'll get into that in a minute. They were 5-1 in the division. They were 7-2 at home, which was really good, and on the road they were 5-3. See, I lost faith in Ryan Tannehill because I betted on the Titans to win against the Bengals, and he throws a pick at the last second. So I'm like, come on, man. That kind of sucked for me, but hey, I'd rather lose $15. So they did gain Trenton Cannon, Robert Woods, a good safety from the Rams, and Austin Hooper. They lost Deontay Foreman, Kiari Blasingame, A.J. Brown to the Eagles, and Marcus Johnson. I think the Titans had a decent draft. I don't think they did that great. They could have done better, in my opinion. But the Titans, I think I'm kind of 50-50 on them making the playoffs and this year. My prediction for them, they're high. It can be at least 10 wins and 7. If they can fall on Derrick Henry, I think they'll do great. Ryan Tannehill, I just don't trust him anymore. I don't. I thought the Titans had a good run last year towards the end, and I just kind of lost faith in Ryan Tannehill. And I think Ryan Tannehill is a great player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Just he needs to limit those mistakes and those big moments. He needs to capture it. You know what I mean? Titans have a great defense. I think they'll do okay, but the AFC is just going to be tough. And their low, I think, will be 8-9, in my opinion. They'll be second in the division, and I'm 50-50 on them making the playoffs just because how good the AFC is this year. Some key matchups they got the Bills, of course. They got the Raiders. They got the Colts. They got the Chiefs. They got the Broncos, the Packers, the Bengals, the Eagles, the Chargers, and the Cowboys. In my opinion, Titans have a tough schedule this year. AFC is just going to be tough for them, and even the NFC contenders they got, the Cowboys and the Commanders and the Eagles. That's basically almost the whole division. So I think it's going to be tough on them just because, Ryan Tannehill, I like him, like I said, but they need to follow that run game, and that defense needs to be strong for Titans this year. That's just my opinion. So let's get into, to me, who's going to be third. So I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will be third this year in the division, in my opinion. Their record last year was 3-14. Their division, they were 1-5. At home, they were 3-6. On the road, they were 0-8. They were last in the division, and they missed the playoffs. So, key thing with the Jaguars, I don't see them making really big jumps. They could rattle some teams. They could surprise some teams, in my opinion. They gained a lot of offseason moves. Their draft was pretty decent. I thought they did very well. They're trying to protect Trevor Lawrence, which is a key thing they need. I think last year Lawrence was getting sacked a lot, almost around Joe Burrow. Jaguars just need to protect the quarterback. They got some good weapons. They gained Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, Brandon Scherff, and Darius Williams. They had a lot of big offseason moves. They traded a lot. They signed a couple good players. I think they'll do okay. They lost DJ Chark, which is a kind of a loss for them. I think if the Jaguars defense can get back to the glory days, where they had Telvin Smith, Jalen Ramsey, if they can find some good corners maybe, and, maybe a good front four, I think they'll be okay. I do like Trevor Lawrence. I think he'll have a good bounce back year, but I don't think it's going to be to where Jaguars make the playoffs. I don't think that. I still don't think they're better than the Titans, in my opinion. I think if the Jaguars keep making consistent moves year to year, I think they could make that hump and get over the Titans or the Colts. But, it's football, so you never know what's going to happen. The Jaguars, I think they're going to go as high as 5-12, and their low could be 3-14, in my opinion, for this year, 2022. I think they'll be third in the division, and then they'll miss the playoffs. That's just my opinion. Some key matchups they got the Commanders, the Colts, the Chargers, the Eagles. They got the Giants. They got the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Cowboys, and the Jets, in my opinion. I think will be a good schedule for the Jaguars. I think this season is very good to learn more about themselves and hopefully fix it by the end of the season. I really think they could rattle some teams that are trying to make the playoffs, like the Ravens, the Titans, the Colts, or the Broncos. I would just say don't fall asleep on the Jaguars. They could surprise you. Even with Trevor Lawrence, hopefully he doesn't make as much mistakes. Let's see how it goes for the Jaguars this year. So, and the last team I got going forth is the Houston Texans. My opinion, the Texans kind of went downhill since they lost Deshaun Watson. That front office, I'm not sure what's going on with them. They lost Deshaun Watson, Tyrod Taylor, David Johnson, Justin Reed. They gained Marlon Mack. They had a good draft this year. I'll give them that. But it's going to be you have to develop them players, hopefully year to year, and then hopefully get a good quarterback. I don't trust the Texans quarterback as well. Their 2021 record was 4-13. Their division was 3-3. They were home 2-7. Road was 2-6. They were third in the division and they missed the playoffs. So, like I said, the Texans, I just kind of don't trust that front office. There just seems to be problems. I'm not sure what it is. If the Texans can get over that first, I think that'll be a huge plus. Texans, I think, lost a great quarterback. I like Deshaun Watson, even with that stuff that was going on outside of the field. I think that they should have kept Deshaun Watson because he was the one who took them to the playoffs, about 3-4 years ago. So I think 2022 record prediction, they'll go as high as 3-14, and they'll go as low as 2-15. They'll be last in the division and miss the playoffs. Some key matchups is pretty much their whole schedule, in my opinion. They got the Colts, the Broncos, the Bears, I think will give them trouble, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Eagles, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and, the Colts. I think, and the Titans, of course. I think the Texans just need some work, man. They really need to focus on draft picks for next year, in my opinion. Hopefully they can fix that quarterback situation. They did lose Deshaun Watson and Tyrod Taylor. I don't see much push from the Texans this year. I think the Jaguars will make the push over the Texans, in my opinion. Other than that, that's what I think for the AFC South. So, if you guys have any comments or anything like that, go ahead and tell me down in the comment section below and see what your record prediction is for the AFC South. Hopefully coming up the next day or the next 2 days, I'll do the NFC West, and then we'll do the AFC West the next couple of days. Stay tuned, guys. I am trying to do more things here on YouTube. I know I've been away for a while. It's the OP23 Sports Network, and if you guys can do real quick for me, give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for me for more content. I will be posting more daily on football. Baseball will be coming soon as well as they head towards the postseason. If you guys can, just hit the comments, hit the like, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.